Most of us resist the sacrifice. We resist the very season that is actually refining us. Lord knows I did. So it's funny when you started talking about how you felt. You and I had some conversation last night. And I was like, I have had similar seasons. And for me, when those seasons hit me, I felt like a fraud. I felt like a failure. I felt like that everything that had been quote unquote prophesied over me, or the people that I'd worked with or talked to, or like it was all false. I felt like it was all false. And I also went through a very angry season, very angry. And it's interesting to me that it seems like part of the refinement process is surrendering in the moment of sacrifice. It's like, hey, can you just be excellent in the ordinary? Right? You know what I'm saying? Can you just be excellent in the ordinary, And I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted people to see your heart, because they can look at you, dude. And you're massive. You have a massive presence. I was telling you this last night. Everywhere you go, it's like there's an energy presence that if people were sitting in the room right now, they would say, "Yeah, I can feel Satema." Like just presence, right? Now, is the presence all Satema? I don't think so. I think the presence is part Satema and part the divine, right?
No question.
And you're walking and carrying that. And sometimes and at least I've experienced this, when you walk into a room and you carry presence, you're misunderstood almost immediately, right?
Yeah.
And as a result, people don't always get to hear the message because you've been misunderstood, misrepresented, whatever the word is. But when people get to know the real, authentic versions of ourselves, it's almost like it creates like a magnet. It like pulls people in. And every time I watch you walk into a room and you're present with those people, every single time, lives change. Every time, without fail, without clockwork. To recognize the opportunity now. Yeah. And once you recognize that opportunity, do something with it. I believe God gives us opportunities all the time. And I believe it's up to us to take advantage of that opportunity. I've done some events recently myself, and one of the ones that I went to, there was stuff going on inside the room. It was all good stuff, not bad stuff. But I happen to know that the room was full of people they were people of influence and affluence. And as someone who in 400 years was the first Scoggins to be a person of influence and affluence, I recognize things in motion, right? And much like you, I think there's a telltale sign of becoming a true champion for God, if you will, which is recognizing that opportunity. So this opportunity pops up in the room. I say something that was real for me, but I was also simultaneously hoping it would encourage the audience to take action. They didn't take immediate action. Then I had a little bit of righteous anger pop up again, and I had to speak, and I spoke again, and then there was a response. Now, when that text came through, you had two choices. You could have waited a day, a week, a month, or whatever. And you're like, nope, Scoggins, what's going on? Let's hop on a phone call. So we hopped on a phone call, and I knew instantaneously, that God has got his hand all over you because of how you show up for other people. I really believe that, but you have an iron soul, meaning this, whatever God put in you is now wrapped in iron and can't be shaken out of you.
I've never heard it put that way. Yes, 100% agreed.
When Teflon was created, okay, I want to say 90+% of the population worldwide has Teflon in their bloodstream today.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Which means there's already a toxin inside the bloodstream already that has not been fully released. Don't even know if it can be fully released. But that started the ability for cells to take on things it's not supposed to take on to. So then your body goes into fight mode. Your immune system is trying to fight everything. So basically your body is fighting itself, not knowing that there's simple ways to do it. So, this is why I like the nutraceutical thing so much, is because nutraceuticals have a tendency, again, to do what pharmaceuticals can't do, which is regulate how the body is supposed to actually function.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Whereas historically, from what I've seen outside, again, I'm not a professional doctor or whatever, and I love the doctors in the world. I've had a lot of good ones. But now my rule is I'm going to try it holistically first.
Yes.
And and so far I have yet to have to step into pharmaceuticals. And if that doesn't work, then, outside of, I had low testosterone. I had to work on, I'm 50 years old this coming couple months. So, but outside of those two things, or outside of that one thing, everything else is holistic. And my rule is holistic first, pharmaceuticals only as a last resort. And I did that because I've realized that I can actually nutrify any area in my body that's deficient. And historically, it just takes a simple blood test or whatever, really figure out where you're deficient at. And then once you add the nutrients, the body's like, oh, thanks. Cool. We're back to premium operation now.
Yes. And that's simple. And that, again, it's not free because you need to pay for whatever you're consuming, but it's
negligible in the grand scheme of things. Paying a $10,000 hospital bill for an organ removal.
1,000%. Yeah. And that's what I want to help people understand. And again, I think it's our birthright to understand what nutrition helps us. And, I don't think you need a doctor to tell you this stuff. Like, to understand that, oh, hey, you can heal by treating your nutrient deficiencies. If you can understand what those are, that you can, really help your body improve in so many different areas. Again, as you said, as the first line of defense against something that might be coming. If that doesn't work, then sure, move on.
Well, it was interesting because people in the holistic, well, I call it holistic health, right?
Yeah.
People in the holistic health world, whether it's, this escaped me right now, but it's the type of doctor that only operates from a holistic approach. Gets shunned.
Functional medicine.
Yeah. So they historically get shunned by traditional medicine. But yet I've had a lot more success with functional-based medicine, just based on doing comprehensive blood tests, figuring out what my cellular pathway is, what things are really good for me. It's funny, I have one allergy, and it's called ragweed, which North Carolina has plenty of.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Right? However, there's a nutraceutical that I take. It's called 5-MTHF. Gary Brecker calls it the MFer gene.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have the MFer gene because it makes me an MFer, I guess. I don't know. But I started taking that, and it changed how I digest food entirely.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually digest. I found out my body wasn't digesting food properly. It was just it was taking just an itty bit, right? Which means my body would get some nutrients, but not a lot of nutrients. I would end up gaining weight and some other things because it couldn't digest. We just eliminated it. I'll be 50 years old in January. I feel the best I've ever felt, and I'm absolutely in the best shape I've ever been in. Like, I don't remember having the quote. I don't mean this as a brag thing. This is just like this is me just like being aware. My physique, I didn't have when I was 20.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that preventative care is always better than reactive care.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Reactive care, it takes 3 times the amount of money, 3 times the amount of effort, 3 times the amount of like looking yourself in the mirror, so to speak, like really kind of like becoming really responsible and accountable for the decisions that we could have made. So I'll give you an example. Steve, my dad's doting over Steve, and he's like, hey, you're a multimillionaire, you own all these properties, you've been all these amazing places, you can do in this, you could do that, you could do that. Like, he was just like, you have it all.
Yeah.
Right? Never forget this. Steve takes the mask off his face because he was on like an oxygen machine.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously treating his lungs. And literally looks at my dad and says, what good is all that when I have no health? And put the mask back on his face and just stared at the ceiling. He passed away about 2 weeks later.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, from pneumonia. The brain is nutrified based on the nutrients of the body.
Yeah.
So if you're putting poison in, you're not getting optimal brain function. You're not getting optical physical function.
Yeah.
And I believe that those will it'll make it more difficult for you to have the frequency that you need to actually even talk spirit to spirit. I've been around many people that struggle with chaos. And for them, chaos feels normal.
Yes.
For me, chaos is scary.
Yes.
Which is why I would jump in and try to solve the chaos.
Yes, because we don't like that.
So it's been really interesting to see or understand that some of us, our nervous systems have been so tattered that chaos can even feel safe.
Right. But it's not.
Yeah, I had I can't remember if I told you or Sarah or Kelly, like who all I told, but it still holds true. So I'll just say it again. When I began dating the woman that I've been dating now for the last 7 months or so, she is so steady. The word that keeps coming up that we would talk is the word steadfast. which ironically is in my blue document. In fact, I might even let you read it for the whole thing just for fun. That it took me 3.5 weeks to get used to it. I was so used to chaos, even after being largely single for an extended period of time and stuff like that. That I wasn't sure how to handle it.
Yeah.
And now that I had to remind myself, I said, calm as peace, calm as peace,
Yeah.
calm as peace, calm as peace. Like I had to remind myself, this is what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
It's just new.
Yeah.
It's just new. And I had to remind myself because I had to unprogram myself around, certain relationship characteristics that influence my body. Maybe it made me want to work out, not want to work out, or sleep more, sleep less, or be focused or not be focused, or be disassociated, I guess is the word to say it. And I've seen this happen with people. Like I've dissociated probably 20 or 30 minutes. I've seen people disassociate for weeks, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
Without the understanding that they actually just went through some very traumatic experiences that have yet to be dealt with. So I can tell you that in my last year, I had 3 things that actually came up from childhood as a result of this journey that I had completely forgotten about and repressed.
Yeah.
And so I'm a big believer in, again, finding someone who can walk you through the necessary exercise to put you in a meditative state, which is the only way to get to the subconscious.
The subconscious, yeah.
Right? And bring the stuff up and then work with somebody to deal with it in safety. And then it disappears.
Yes.